but it's better to display the week after, Chris.
Better display what? Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it got me yesterday as well. And the timing is correct too, so we're good.
Yes, 4:13 p.m. Yeah. So it's New York time. Okay. On Sunday, we have to monitor the Chinese cash-in services PMI and neutral. And there are several talks. Let's see Wilkins and Broadbent and William.
Oh, right. Okay.
So panel discussion, let's forget. For Wilkins. Panel discussion for Broadbent, let's forget. And Williams, panel discussion, let's forget.
Okay. Monday.
Monday, yeah. On
This
Monday,
week, I think.
yeah.
Yep.
On Monday we will have. Let's see. We don't have a lot of things. Simply monitor the 10-year bond auction for the yen. So we have nothing special on Monday.
And I'm still not too sure what Britain is doing.
We still have to pay attention because now, so we have first of all to wait for the end of the month, the end of January, and then UK and the European Union will enter into the negotiation period until the end of the year. So many things can still happen.
Yep. Plus the war and or skirmishes. Yep. Okay. Right. Anything else after this?
No.
So just monitor the 10-year bond. Okay.
Yeah.
Scrolling.
So on Tuesday we have the Swiss CPI month-over-month, major higher time frames neutral. Then I will monitor in the context of the general inflation in the European Union the Euro CPI flash estimate year over year and bullish. And so consequently also the core CPI flash estimate year over year and so neutral. And then monitor the pound 10-year bond auction. Then we have the two trade balance for the CAD and the US dollar, so major higher time frames, and a bit bullish for the CAD and a bit bullish for the US dollar too. And then we have the Kiwi GDT price index, major higher time frames to be defined. And I will monitor the US dollar ISM non-manufacturing PMI and a bit bullish. And that's it for Tuesday.
Okay.
Wednesday.
Down.
Concerning the fire in Australia, I don't think it will have an impact in the Australian economy, even if the area is a big area. So there will be perhaps a very neglectable impact, but not a big impact. So, or perhaps just one impact, but on a private level, so the increase of the insurance prime, so for the insurance contract for fire, in fact.
Mm.
So, Wednesday we will have, let's see, the pound Halifax HPI month over month, major and bearish. Then indeed monitor the German 10-year bond auction. Then we have the US dollar ADP non-farm employment change, major, but not necessarily higher time frames. And bullish. Then we have Brainard talking. Due to deliver a speech titled Modernizing the Community Reinvestment Act. So no, let's forget. Then we have monitor the crude oil inventories, the 10-year bond auction for the US dollar. And then we have the Aussie trade balance, major higher time frame and a bit bearish. And we have to monitor also the yen 10-year bond auction. I will also monitor the two Chinese news, CPI year-over-year, PPI year-over-year, and so monitor and for both bullish. And that's it for Wednesday. Thursday. Thursday we will have monitor the Euro French 10-year bond auction. No, the German trade balance is not a major news, Chris.
Okay.
And foreign currency reserves for the Swiss, no, neither.
Sorry. Ah, you're way down here. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Then we have Clarida speaking.
Malversating. Where is he?
So, due to deliver a speech titled U.S. Economy Outlook and Monetary Policy at the Council on Foreign Relations in New York. No, not important.
It's doing its jumpy thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Clarida.
Yeah. Then we will have monitor the US dollar natural gas storage.
Yep.
Then we will have Williams also speaking.
It's going to jump. And it jumped. Scroll back up.
So due to speak about inflation targeting at the Bank of England Economic Workshop. So no, it's a workshop, so not important at all. Then we have, where are we? The 30-year bond auction to monitor.
Yep.
Then we have Polos
Sorry, it's
and
going to jump
Weidmann.
again. Okay.
So Polos.
Okay.
Due to speak at the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade's Economic Outlook Forum. So no, let's forget.
Okay. Weidmann.
And Weidmann.
That didn't help.
No. Due to the speech titled Economy in Transition, Politics Required. No, let's forget.
Okay.
And then we have, that's it for Thursday. And on Friday we will have, so let's see, the CAD employment change and unemployment rate. So it's the corresponding of the non-farm payroll. So for the unemployment change, so major higher time frames and bullish. For the unemployment rate, major higher time frame bullish too. And then we have the U.S. non-farm payroll. So for the average hourly earnings, so a bit bullish. For the non-farm, bearish. And the unemployment rate, neutral.
Mixed bag. Okay. And these are all major pluses. CAD major plus as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not a major plus, but
okay.
Unfortunately I will not be at home, so Friday I will not be able myself to follow, but if I would have been present, this is certainly two red news for me.
Okay, that's fine. Everybody else can use them anyway. And cool, thank you. Any questions, anybody? What? Okay, I'm just going to bring that comment up here. What could happen with Pacific currencies?
If there is a major surprise in the Chinese news, so the impact will be also on the Aussie and the Kiwi. So if the news show that the Chinese economy is improving, this will be good for the Chinese currency, but also for the Aussie and the Kiwi currencies, and vice versa, of course. There will be no impact on the Chinese, on the Japanese currency, but on the two Aussie and Kiwi, yes.
I'm sorry, Eusebio, I was messing around too much with the chat. Can you say that again?
Yeah. So if there is a good news on the Chinese news, a good number. So this means that the Chinese currency should strengthen, and so this will be good also for the Aussie and the Kiwi. And vice versa, if we have bad news on the Chinese news, this should be bad for the Aussie and the Kiwi.
Okay, thank you. Cool. And let's...
And this is simply due to the fact that Australia and New Zealand are big exporters to China. 25% approximately of their exportations are to China. And so when the Chinese economy slows down, this has a deep impact, of course, on the exportations for Australia and Kiwi, even if these two countries have different types of exportations. So, but the impact is present.
Yeah, it's amazing how big they are and how fast they can change. It's just, we're going to go here now, and they go. They've gone, sort of thing. What astounded me was when I saw inside one of their railway stations, you see the bullet trains over Japan and in Europe. They had one train station there with about 30 bullet trains all lined up. It was just, they're just pumping stuff out like crazy. Anyway, okay. I don't think I exaggerated that too much. It was just astounding how many they had. Okay. So that's enough of Chris. So if you've got any questions about the news, let me know. Yeah, completely different level. So the incantation for today is, if you've got any, the reason that we go through these and people say, why do you keep hammering on about the news each week? It's because if you don't have a good basis from which you're trading, then whatever trading pattern comes up isn't going to help you if you're walking into some super volatile time. And I noticed that when I first started trading, thought I was doing okay, and then all of a sudden there'd be spikes and all sorts of crap. And I had no idea why until I found out about the news. So this will help you avoid messy times when you're trading. As you get better, you get more used to sort of what to expect and how to sort of trade through it. But these are the basics. So anything marked with an H4, it applies to people trading the higher time frames from the H4 upwards, and anything marked with major is for all the smaller time frames upwards. So if there's a news coming out, don't place an order 1 hour prior to the news coming out and get out of the trade before the half hour. 1 half hour before the news actually comes out. So you'll need retraining. And this applies particularly to the primer people. With the standard people, if you've got multiple units open, and the SAM people, then you can afford to just chop down some of your open units and perhaps trade through them. If there's any news coming out with the US, the Euro, and the Yen, these are the three major pairs, and any surprises coming out on these guys can impact any other pair that you're trading, like for instance the Aussie Swiss or the Swiss Kiwi or something like that, even though they don't have a US or a Euro or a Yen component. Those ones are so big that they can still impact. So treat them, when these ones have news coming out, the big majors, treat them as if it's your actual, they're part of your currency pair. For news coming out on the smaller pairs, like for instance the Aussie, and if you're in, say, the Euro dollar or something like that, you don't need to worry too much about this news, but keep an eye on it because it can still impact. I have seen Kiwi news come out that made the pound dollar jump. It was a surprise, and it took everybody surprise, and things went a bit chaotic for a little while afterwards. So still be careful with them. And the pound sits halfway between them. These days it's kind of important, but it seems to spike up and down all on its little lonesome and not impact too many other pairs, but still be really careful of it. It is the fourth of the top pairs that have impact on the market. Okay, enough of that. Hey Dan and Kent, and everybody else that's here. Okay, the top 10 for the week are these ones. So out of the 28 pairs, this is a lot. We ranked them by dollar range so that the ones that are likely to have moved the most in dollars are at the top. And out of this lot, I've selected these ones here, and put them over against the news so that we can get some idea on what pairs to trade on a daily basis rather than looking at all 28 pairs or just the top 10, which is only 8 at the moment because the movements are so small. And just to give you an idea on what the ranges are like, the top of the range was 1366, and these are the ranges starting from last year. So it was around about the same January, February last year as well. Then it went down during the ranges dropped off hugely down here to the middle of the year and tried to slowly come back up now that we're kind of coming out of the Brexit area. But the market changes quickly and these things change slowly, so hang in there. Hopefully with a bit more volatility we'll be able to get some nice movements out of this stuff. So back over here on the Newswatch, I've moved the pairs over here. I don't know if you want to use the Euro-Yen, Eusebio, because it's...
in my selection I have included the Euro-Kiwi and the Euro-Yen, yes, but they will be marginal, so...
Sure, okay. So Eusebio is going to do a bit of magic now and select which pairs per day based on the news are the ones to watch for. So for Sunday we don't have anything, no majors, and on Monday we have no majors. So
okay.
I guess...
So the choice will be easy. The first pair will be the pound Kiwi. Also, sorry, the pound Yen.
Done.
Then the pound Swiss.
Yep.
And then the pound, or let's say pound Swiss or pound US dollar. Pound Swiss or pound US dollar. And then the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie.
Okay. And I'd say for people wanting, like the pound is quite jumpy these days. If you're not getting good movements out of it, perhaps look at the Euro Kiwi, Euro Aussie as well. That's like selection number 4. Okay.
Friday, yesterday, was especially almost a nightmare to trade the pound pair. So.
Why was that? I didn't even look, Eusebio.
So, of course, still low volumes, but very, very choppy pairs, very choppy.
Kent says it's probably sadness over the cricket scores, and if Chris sounds like a smoker, it's courtesy of Australia. Yeah, even though we're about 1,500 to 2,000 miles away from Aussie, the smoke coming off Aussie is blanketing New Zealand. A few weeks ago I could smell smoke, and I thought I checked around the house to make sure it wasn't us. And I heard Craig over Skype look at me askance when I said, I think I can smell the Australian fires. And it's been reported all over New Zealand this week that we can smell smoke from it. And even here, the visibility chopped down from like forever down to only a few miles here. Looking out my window, I couldn't see some of the hills on the opposite side of the valley. So it's really nasty what's coming over and what's happening in Australia. So sorry, guys. Anyway, okay. Enough of the rave. So we're looking for Tuesday. So we've got nothing left from Monday. Mm-hmm. And Tuesday we have the Swiss.
The Swiss. So here, okay.
The CAD.
The CAD, okay.
US.
The US, okay.
And the Kiwi.
And the Kiwi here and here. So we will have for the first pair the pound Swiss.
Okay.
Then the pound US dollar. And then the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie.
Okay. And so left over from Tuesday, we still have the Kiwi, because this
Kiwi,
yeah, it comes out sometime late afternoon US time, and nothing else. And on Wednesday we have the pound.
So the pound, okay.
US dollar.
the US dollar, so here, okay.
That's it. The Aussie comes out after the...
Okay, so we will have the pound US dollar for the first pair.
Okay.
Then the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie.
Yep.
And then we can take the pound yen.
I'm neither, Dan. But I really want to hear what an American would think of what cricket is like. It's a crazy game. Okay, so we've done Wednesday. On leftovers from Wednesday, we've got the Aussie.
So the Aussie, okay.
And that's it. Nothing on Thursday.
Okay, so the first pair will be the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie.
Okay.
Then the pound yen.
Yep.
And then we can take the pound Swiss or pound US dollar.
Okay. And for Friday, we've got nothing left over from Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the CAD and the US.
The CAD and the US. So, okay, so we will have the pound US or pound CAD.
Okay. Yep.
Then we can take the pound yen.
Yep.
And then the pound Swiss.
Okay. Okay, so this is just to help you whittle down the number of pairs that you monitor per day. To get consistency, it's best not to be jumping around all over the show. And we say to start off small, like on a 30-minute chart, and then once you're comfortable with that, with 1 or 2 pairs, move up to the 15-minute, and then when you're comfortable with that, move up to the 5. It generally doesn't take long once you've got a rhythm going, but if you try and do everything all at once, it's like trying to drive a race car before you've learned how to drive around the car park kind of thing. So just take it slowly, it will build up, and you won't lose as much money as if you'd started off with your foot flat to the accelerator. The other thing I was going to say was with the standard, we teach you a lot of different entry types and exit types. You don't have to use them all. Just pick a few basic ones and use those, like 1 or 2. Start off with, say, the safe and perfect and a remo, and maybe a breakout situation. And then once you're comfortable with that, then you'll naturally start seeing the other types of entries sort of pop into your field of vision as well. But just start off slowly and build up. It's easier. And on the exit side of things, perhaps with a use stochastic exits to start with, maybe, and the tiger pounds, those are good ones, and then start incorporating the other ones that we show you in the standard course. Sorry, Primer, you don't have that much to sort of play with, but it's still a profitable system. It just takes a while because you don't have all the extra entry types that you can use that the standard has. And then the SAM builds on that further again. So, any questions from anybody? I don't think it's that. It's not crazy baseball. It's different to baseball completely. Especially when you hear the scoring. It's just, yeah. Anyway, okay.